On a night sprinkled with heroes of the past inside this amazing place, these Rangers had designs on heroic and amazing as well. And did they ever host a garden party? 5-4 the final in overtime. Rangers beat the Montreal Canadiens. Hi, everyone. Welcome inside our studio. Alongside Dave Starman, I'm John Giannone. Give the goal to J.T. Miller in overtime on a night where the Rangers overcame a 3-goal deficit early, then a 2-goal deficit in the middle period. This is one to build on. But before we go anywhere else, take us through how the Rangers were able to score the 5-4 goal on the power play in the extra session.
It started with a really important thing twice, and that is they won 2 faceoffs in the offensive zone to get possession and get started. Remember, it's all about possession overtime anyway. It's even more important on the power play. So they get possession, now they go to work. Their spacing here is great. Their patience is great. This shot, now, Fowler, remember we talked about how they're picking on his glove side a little bit? Watch the Montreal Canadian defender in the shot lane. All he left Miller was the short side. So what did Miller do? He went short side, and he went at the glove of Fowler. So to me, it's execution in 2 levels. Number 1, it's winning the faceoff and being able to move the puck around, spread out the triangle. Number 2, it is Miller taking a quick look, knowing he had one lane and one spot. He went for it, and he hit it.
Yeah. 2:56 of overtime, career overtime goal number 16 for J.T. Miller, and it came with Jake Evans in the box for taking a penalty in the extra session. So the Rangers get the win on a night where it sure didn't look like that was the way it was going to end, with almost 24 of the former players from the New York Rangers organization on this centennial celebration night that was just so special for those in attendance. It ended up being special for everyone in attendance as they watched the Rangers rally back to win. They scored twice in the second period. We're going to do this a little reverse chronology. Scored twice in the second period after Montreal scored early in the period to make it 4-2. Rangers get 2 goals in a span of 36 seconds.
I think we talked about pregame. What are some of the things the Rangers need to do? Number 1 is play in the offensive zone, because that's where they're getting their goals from. Possess pucks in the offensive zone to protect them. And number 3 is have a big net front presence. And they did a whole lot of that in the second period. And that's how you stabilize games when games are starting to go south on you. Look at them winning battles on the wall here. Look at them staying above pucks. Look at them getting inside Montreal's checks. Now they get a chance to get a puck in an open space, throw it to the front of the net. And then as it goes off the backboard, Cooley, he's got one play. Just throw it into the soup and see what happens. He does, and they hit pay dirt. Here we go again. Rangers keep the puck on the walls, keep it safe, throw it to the front of the net. What's Miller do? Goes to the front of the net, grabs a loose change. Rangers once again in the paint, out inside the checks of Montreal. Smart, safe, simple, streamlined, and it all pays off in the end.
And that made it a whole new hockey game, because the Rangers trailed this one 3-0 after the Canadiens scored 3 goals in about 3.5 minutes in the first period. Things were looking bleak. Canadiens then hit a crossbar. They missed on a breakaway. And all of a sudden, in a span of 19 seconds, within the last 2 minutes of the first period, 2 goals by the Rangers, including one in a way you don't see every day, and it made for a completely different vibe inside this building.
No question. I will tell you this, Alex Faust on the radio side called it as soon as it happened. He said, that's got to be a penalty shot. And just to make sure everybody understands, penalty shots, even if you get the shot off, you can still have a penalty shot called. The shot being taken has no bearing on a penalty shot call being made whatsoever. But the Rangers gain the line here. Sherry makes a nice play to recover the puck here after skating into the traffic. That allows Cooley to go to work. He drives, hard area, Laba goes to the front of the net. So the Rangers once again outnumbering Montreal in a key spot. Now here comes the penalty shot by Panarin. Watch this. Right shot, walks towards his other side, and then gets it back across the grade. That is not easy to do. So what did he do? He comes in the weak side, or comes in the offside, cuts to the front of the net, drags the goalie, gives himself about 3 inches to hit, and he hits bullseye. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, first penalty shot goal of his career for Artemi Panarin. First by a Ranger since Dan Boyle, 10 years and 2 days ago. Rangers win at 5-4. Let's begin the reaction in the dressing room. That is where Michelle Gingras is conducting the interviews, and it's with the captain, the guy who scored the tying goal and the winning goal in overtime, J.T. Miller.
What do you think of the resilience your team showed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that was basically it. I thought we had a really good start to the game. Rolled the shifts over really nicely, and then they got one and kind of took it to us there for a good chunk of the second part of the first period, and got some timely goals at the end there. Obviously, Brett getting that one right before the horn was huge, so gave us a chance. And then after that, Shesty was dialed all night as per usual, and we played our game. Even though we had to give up one in the second there, I feel like we just kept playing our game and pushing, and I think it shows more and more about the team that, the word resiliency, about poor me at home mentality. I think that, easily could creep into your mind, but I think that we did a good job of just staying focused and earning our chances and bearing down on them.
You mentioned that goal by Montreal early in the second period. Just what did Will Cooley's goal do for you guys just to kind of swing the momentum right back?
Yeah, exactly that. I think 2-goal lead, it's the worst lead, right? And it's, for Cools to, that whole line right there, they played really well, and they were hunting. Like, they're really good at hunting pucks and creating havoc on the forecheck, and that's another good example.
Just the overtime goal for you. I know you guys took a timeout right before that. Was that what you were drawing up, something like that to happen, or?
No, actually, I was supposed to be in front of the net. So sometimes those things evolve like that, and I kind of had my mind made up that if I really wanted to get a shot off. I've passed up a couple of shots lately that I feel like I should have shot, and sometimes they go in. So it's nice to see one go.
Can you guys?
You know what's going on here at home this season. It would have been easy at that point to just kind of not pack it in, but have it be a real tough night. What was different?
I think we've learned a lot so far in the season, 30-plus games. It's not great to go 0 and whatever at home to start the season, but I think that you can really learn a lot from that. And like I said, even when it's good, we can't let it get too good for us. Like, we're not going to win every road game like we were. We're not going to lose every single one at home. It's a long season, and I think we did a good job of staying mentally tough and in the moment and present, and worried about the next shift, and really turned the tide on them. They defended a lot of the night, I felt like, and when we play like that, it's the same speech every game. I think we're a lot to handle, and it's whether we get the pucks to go in tonight. And tonight we scored.
You're playing a goalie who is playing his second game in the NHL. I wonder, was there an emphasis going into the game to just just keep putting the puck towards the net, because it looked like you were generating a lot of rebound opportunities too?
Yeah, I don't know if we spent a lot of time on that. It doesn't matter who's in there. We got to worry about ourselves. Especially after a game we didn't really like. That's on us in Chicago. I think we were really looking forward to responding today. And like I said, the start was good. They didn't have many shots, and they just kind of found a way to. We had a couple breakdowns that they capitalized on. So like I said, the only thing that keeps coming up is how resilient the group is. Like, we easily could have been frustrated and backed it in today and had another one of those nights, but it didn't go like that. So it's awesome.
You mentioned how.
Thoughts from the captain, J.T. Miller, as he talked about the Rangers needing to do more on home ice. Certainly now they have points in 4 straight, 2 wins, 2 overtime losses after a real rough start to the season. Obviously, he mentioned losing their first 6 at home. He also talked about, Dave, that he wasn't in the position he thought he was supposed to be on the overtime goal, that he should have been in front. Explain what he was talking about. How did he find himself in the perfect shooting spot?
Well, to use the great quote, the best laid plans of mice and men. Yeah, when you draw it up, there's a plan of potentially moving the puck cross ice and sending Miller to the front of the net because he's a big, strong body. But here it comes a situation where you see the net drive by Panarin, at least attracts a little bit of attention. With that happening, there's no reason for Miller to ever go near the net, because now you're putting 2 in the same area and you're decreasing your numbers. So Miller sees what's happening here, flares out, gets himself into the face-off circle. He's the left shot that's out there, and he gives them the other flank option for the one-timer. So with the puck up top, you get opposite flanks. Either way, shot can go. You get a little net front presence there with Panarin stealing it and drawing it in, and Miller puts himself in a good spot. Sometimes you have to trust your veterans.
He didn't look for 1 second like he was going to the net.
Not even close.
He was parked in that spot. He saw an opportunity, and he was not going to pass that up.
And I like that about the fact that the Rangers have some veterans that have been around the block a bit, and you have to read off of what's going on. So it might look great on the whiteboard as it comes out and make a whole lot of sense. But once play starts to happen, it's like the old Mike Tyson line, right? Once you get punched in the mouth, there goes the plan. Yeah. Well, sometimes if the plan isn't going according to the way you want it right off the drop of the puck and where the initial threat will start from, now you have to start reacting to the stimuli in front of you, and he did a pretty good job with that.